Yeah, thank you. Can you hear me? Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Mas Arif, can you hear me? Semuanya masih di mute ya? Yes? Oh, okay. How about the others? Mahmud Basir, hello, how are you? Hello. Okay. So you can hear me, I can see Mas Arif. Yeah, okay. Can you hear me? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Prof. Emil. Mas Arif, how are you, Prof. Emil? Semuanya masih di mute ya? Yes? Oh, Mas Arif. How about the other? Mahmud Basir, hello, how are you? Hello. Okay. So you can hear me, I can see Mas Arif. Yeah, okay. Jelas ya? Can you hear me? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Prof. Emil. Mas Arif, musiknya can you stop the music, Mas Arif? Yes? Oh, Mas Arif. How about the other? Just stop the music. Mas Arif, you can hear me, I can see Mas Arif. Yeah, okay. Jelas ya? Can you hear me, Mas Arif? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Tolong dimatiin musiknya. Mas Arif, musiknya can you stop the music, Mas Arif? Yes? Oh, Mas Arif. Arif, halo Mas. Just stop the music. Mas Arif, you can hear me, I can see Mas Arif. Yeah, okay. Mas Arif, hear me, Mas Arif. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Tolong dimatiin. Mas Arif, bisa dengar saya nggak Mas Arif? Musiknya can you stop the music, Mas Arif? Yes? Oh, Mas Arif. Arif, halo Mas. Just stop the music. Mas Arif, you can hear me, I can see Mas Arif. Yeah, okay. Selamat sore Pak Emil, Prof. Emil Salim. Welcome to the opening ceremony of the summer course, Pak Emil. Our second keynote speaker is already here among us.
Ya, siap.
Segar sekali hari ini Pak Emil.
Bagaimana? Jam berapa kita mulai?
You look fabulous. You look fabulous today. Pak Emil, let me introduce you to our head of department, Dr. Ahyar Ismail.
Ya, jadi saya ini 30 menit ya.
Ya, betul Prof. Emil. Nanti mulainya jam setengah 5 berarti, 4:30, Prof. Emil.
30 menit ya?
Betul.
Jadi garis mulai, oke. Kita mulai jam berapa?
Mulainya Prof. Emil sekitar 4:30.
Prof. Emil, terima kasih banyak.
4:30, ya oke.
Prof, terima kasih banyak. Saya kenalkan, saya Ahyar Ismail, Ketua Departemen ESL, Prof.
Itu bahasa Inggris ya? Pakai bahasa Inggris?
Betul, Prof.
Ya, oke.
Prof.
Kalau
Emil,
bahasa Inggris campur aduk dengan bahasa Indonesia boleh ya?
Boleh, Prof. Boleh. Peserta kita sekitar yang asingnya itu sekitar 40%, Prof.
Apa?
Peserta yang internasionalnya ada 40 orang. 40%.
Ya, sekitar ya peserta internasionalnya. Wah, mungkin nggak sampai, mungkin sekitar 35%, Prof. Selebihnya memang orang Indonesia, maksudnya student Indonesia dan profesional Indonesia.
Ya. Dan ini oleh IPB ya, Departemen
ESL.
ESL, Prof.
Dari Departemen
Ekonomi Sumber Daya dan Lingkungan.
ya, of IPB.
Betul, Prof.
Ya.
Prof Iskandar. Welcome, Prof.
Halo, welcome Bu Melani dari Western Sydney ya, kalau tidak salah. Prof Emil.
Ya.
Saya Iskandar, Prof, dari Fakultas Kehutanan, IPB.
Oh, baik, terima kasih.
Salam kenal ya, Prof ya.
Ya.
Prof Nunung, Dean of Faculty of Economics and Management, also already among us ini.
Ya.
Welcome,
Kenapa?
Prof Nunung.
Bagaimana?
Profesor Nunung Nuriartono, the Dean of Dekan Fakultas Ekonomi dan Manajemen, juga sudah hadir. Prof Emil.
Ya. Apa yang dia bilang?
Yang orang tadi itu
Ya.
dia dekan dari Fakultas Kehutanan.
Oh, I see. Baik, Ibu. Ya. Bagaimana situasi kehutanan kita, Ibu?
To the link for the online attendance form already posted to your email. Okay, so please fill in the attendance form that has been sent to your email. Alright?
Oke. Oke.
Ini Prof mengkomunikasikan ke peserta, mereka disuruh ngisi absen.
Ya.
Ngisi absennya sudah dikirim lewat email.
Baik. Kalau sedikit di
All participants, please fill in the attendance form, okay? You have to fill into attendance form because today we have 2 keynote speakers. Okay. So we have 2 topics, okay? Yeah. So you fill in 2 attendance form, yeah? It's already sent to your email.
Yeah, okay.
Halo Adelia.
Sore Pak Emil, saya Nunung Nuriartono, Dekan FEM.
Ya, Prof Emil.
Ya.
Prof Nunung menyapa.
Dia dekan dari FEM.
Saya Nunung Nuriartono, Prof Emil.
Ya, bagaimana Bapak?
Baik, sehat Prof.
Ya, jadi acara dimulai jam 3.30 ya.
Betul Prof, sekitar 4 menit lagi kita akan mulai acaranya.
4 menit lagi, ya.
Selamat datang Pak Nunung.
Mbak.
Sehat-sehat ya Pak Nunung ya.
Sehat-sehat.
Sibuk sekali nih kita akhir-akhir ini.
Lagi di Jakarta.
Oh, lagi di Jakarta, Masya Allah.
Ya. Terima kasih Pak Dekan sudah datang.
Iya, sudah bersedia, betul.
Saya di mute terus dari tadi.
Termute ya. Prof Nunung nanti berarti kesempatan untuk sambutan yang kedua ya Prof ya?
Boleh, saya ngikut panitia.
Iya, ini kemarin bertanya kepada Ico bagaimana urutannya ini Pak. Jadi dari Ico katanya dimulai dari dari Prof Iskandar dulu, kemudian Prof Nunung, kemudian baru Pak Rektor begitu.
Siap.
Terima kasih loh Pak Nunung.
Pak Dekan dari mana nih? Masih dari luar?
Di Jakarta Pak.
Okay. Hello, participants. Hafizita 2, can you hear me? Please just wave your hands if you can hear me. All right, great. How about you, Jacqueline Joseph? Right. All right. Okay. And the other things that I have to announce to you for all participants and also guests. Okay, so today the participants should know that it's not only for the summer course participants, because this is also the event of the 53rd IPB Talk. So we also have many guests. Okay, and from this event you will have e-certificate. Yeah, e-certificate for IPB Talk, the 53rd IPB Talk plus summer course opening. Yeah, you can access the certificate by 4:30 p.m. Jakarta time. So it will be another 1 hour. In the next 1 hour, you can access the certificate. Yeah, and access to the certificate will be closed by 5:15. All right, so only 45 minutes open. Okay, and the link to the e-certificate will be distributed at the Zoom chat room. Okay, so you can access there. Yeah. So it's already time now. So let we start.
Ini 4:30 ya? Ini 4:30.
Ya. Sering pertanyaannya kita nggak ngerti, jadi kalau bisa bisikin.
Okay. Now we're ready to start, everybody. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's being a great honor for me, Melanie Buitenzorgi, to be here. All right.
Suaranya belum kedengar, Bu.
How about now?
Now it's okay, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Profis. The Department of Resource and Environmental Economics, ESL, under the Faculty of Economics and Management, IPB University, and the IPB International Collaboration Office proudly present the 53rd IPB Talk Special Edition and the opening ceremony of ESL Summer Course 2020. First of all, let us pray and praise to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has been giving us guidance, happiness, healthy, and mercy so we can attend and participate in this event. During the 20th of November to 5th of December, the ESL department will be organizing the online International Summer Course Program 2020, which will be the 4th batch of our regular summer course program. I would like to use this opportunity to introduce mainly to our summer course participants and guests, the head of ESL department, Dr. Ahyar Ismail. Pak Ahyar,
Hello.
mungkin bisa menyapa sedikit.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Ahyar Ismail as the head of ESL department, Faculty of Economic and Management. Many thanks and high appreciation to Professor Arthur Moll and Professor Emil Salim, who have been willing to be speakers at this event. I know you are very, very busy in your daily activities. Thank you very much, Melanie.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Pak Ahyar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And I would like also to introduce our deputy head of the ESL department, Dr. Meti Ekayani. Ibu Meti.
Hello, Ibu Meti.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, I'm still on my way. I'm Metia Kandi, Deputy Head of Research and Environmental Economic Department. I accompany Pak Ahyar. Hello, thank you for all of Bu Melani. Success for all of you. Thank you, Bu Melani.
Terima kasih Bu Meti.
And in this beautiful moment, I would like to say welcome to the Dean of Faculty of Economics and Management, Professor Dr. Nunung Nuriartono. Prof. Nunung, maybe you want to say hi to the participants and guests.
Yeah, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. I hope you will enjoy all courses during summer courses. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Nunung. And also, I would like to say welcome to the Director of IPB International Collaboration Office, Professor Dr. Iskandar Zulkarnain.
Thank you, Bu Melani. Hello, everybody. I'm Iskandar Siregar, Director for International Program, doing jointly this event with the Department of Economic Resources and Environmental, ESL, with Department ESL. Thank you.
Thank you. And Pak Rektor sudah hadir belum ya? Belum sepertinya ya, Mas Arief?
Belum ada.
Belum ya, sepertinya. Oke, baik. And I would like also to say welcome to the head of departments in IPB University who have the opportunity to join this special event. And I also would like to welcome to all 347 summer course participants and distinguished academics, students, and all guests. In the middle of pandemic situation, by the grace of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and full support from institution, we are managed to attract 347 successful participants from totally 21 countries: Afghanistan, Australia, Bangladesh, Brazil, Cambodia, China, Philippines, Haiti, India, Kenya, Malaysia, Egypt, Myanmar, Nepal, Nigeria, Pakistan, Russia, Tanzania, Vietnam, and of course, Indonesia. And the local participants come from 37 universities: University of Indonesia, UI, ITB, UGM, of course, IPB University, Universitas Diponegoro, Brawijaya, Parahyangan, Pelita Harapan, Bakri University, and some other universities in Java Island. And also we have a participant from Siak Kuala and Usu in Sumatra, and then Lambung Mangkurat and Mula Warman in Kalimantan, Universitas Hasanuddin and Universitas Negeri Makassar in Sulawesi, Udayana in Bali, Trunojoyo in Madura, Universitas Mataram in West Nusa Tenggara, and up to Universitas Musamus Merauke in Papua. So thanks to internet, yeah. And yeah, it sounds like a very diverse youth camp. I was so much younger and there among you guys. The title of this summer course is Reducing Carbon Footprint from Individual to Global Actions. And not only students, our participants also come from professionals and researchers. And among us, already joined us the second keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Emil Salim. Welcome, Prof. Emil. And Prof. Arthur Mol already joined. Mas Arief bisa di, atau Mbak Pini bisa di, can you identify if Prof. Mol already joined? Not yet? All right then. Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed to our program, please kindly allow me to deliver the structure of today's event. First, we will have a welcoming speech by the Director of International Collaboration Office, Prof. Dr. Iskandar Zulkarnain, then followed by welcoming speech by the Dean of Faculty of Economics and Management, Professor Dr. Nunung Nuriartono, And then we will have a music video, meet the invited speakers, and then followed by the opening remarks by Rector of IPB University, Professor Dr. Arif Satria. And then after that, we will have the main session, which is the first keynote speech delivered by Professor Arthur Moll, Director Magnificus of Wageningen University and Research, and then followed by a tribute to Professor Arthur Moll. Then after that, we will have the second keynote speech by Professor Emil Salim, followed by tribute to Professor Emil Salim. And then after that, we will have photo session and closing. But after closing the ceremony, please, all the summer course participants stay still because we will have the summer course briefing for participants. So you don't leave this Zoom after the closing the ceremony, okay? Now, we would like to invite the Director of International Collaboration Office, Prof. Dr. Iskandar Zulkarnain, to deliver the first welcoming speech. Prof. Iskandar, time and place are yours. Prof. Is?
Thank you, Bu Melani. Greetings from IPB Bogor. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon with the morning spirits, because we are having a resource person also from Europe. First of all, I would like to say heartfelt thanks to you, to the organizing committee. Thank you also to Prof. Arif Satria, Rector of IPB University, Professor Arthur J. Moll, the Rector Magnificus, the Wageningen University and Research. Here already with us together, Professor Emil Salim. Thank you, Prof. The Dean of Faculty of Economics and Management, IPB University, Professor Nunung. The head on the Deputy Head, Department of Resource and Environmental Economics, IPB University. Thank you for joining this event on your very busy schedule and also another tight activity. A warm welcome to all audiences. Welcome to the 53rd IPB Talks. This IPB Talk, the 53rd IPB Talk, is a kind of special edition which present the world famous speakers. First one is the Rector of the Wageningen University and Research. You know, the WUR is the university, the top rank, the first rank by Q, according to the QS system by subject, agriculture and forestry. And also we have here Professor Emil Salim, the environmental legend, we could say that one. Thank you, Prof. And also in occasion of the opening of the ESL summer course this year. So we are having a kind of back-to-back event. This IPB Talk on complexity and sustainability science is one of the first pioneers at IPB to discuss the global issue, through indisciplinary and even the transdisciplinary science approach. So it started in 2018. Now we are almost completing 2 years. Thanks God that's still consistent to be held. The 53rd IPB Talk are now following the launch of the ESL summer course. I would like to report also that IPB University this year running a total of 20 online summer courses. In this already run 20, including this one, summer courses in this blessing years, although COVID hit us. We come up with a great idea, to do innovation, to conduct the summer course online. So, for example, today IPB Talk will discuss also the current carbon footprint reduction issue, that will be addressed, beginning, let's say, from ourselves, individual act through a global program. What will people be doing to reduce the carbon footprint? How is a person able to reduce the carbon footprint? Why is it necessary for individual to reduce the carbon footprint? And then what are people going to do to combat the now really facing climate change? However, by reducing the emission of personal, let's say, greenhouse gases, individual can make a difference. While there are many ways to do this and save energy, including, let's say, during the pandemic, isolating yourself at home, you are doing something else with other encouraging activities, such as understanding more on the solar energy, and even doing a gardening or planting the trees. Yeah, the change you can make are most important for us, and then directly and straightforward. Please enjoy the IPB Talk, this special edition, in conjunction also with the launch of the ESL Summer Course Program. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Prof. Iskandar. Now, we would like to invite the Dean of Faculty of Economics and Management, Professor Dr. Nunung Nuryartono, to deliver the second welcoming speech.
The use of armies,
Prof. Nunung,
Thank you,
time and
Bu
place
Melanie.
are yours.
Thank you, Bu Melanie. Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning for who you are living in Europe zone. My name is Nunung Nuryartono. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you, the Honorable Professor Jamal, the Rector of Wageningen University and Research, Professor Emil Salim, our respectful senior economist and Indonesian former State Minister, Professor Arif Satria, Rector of IPB University, Professor Iskandar Sulkarnain, the Director of International Collaboration Office, IPB, and all participants, as well as the Head of Resource Economic and Environmental Department and the Deputy. We hope that you, your families, and communities are keeping safe and well amidst the pandemic of COVID-19. It is my great pleasure to proudly welcome you all to the ESL online summer courses with the title of Reducing Carbon Footprint from Individual to Global Action. The summer programs will be held from 20th November to 5th of December, presented by Economic and Resource and Environmental Economics Department, Faculty of Economic and Management. I would like also to refer to another initiative that mentioned by Professor Iskandar, 43rd of IPB Talk. As we all aware, carbon footprint reduction can play a significant role in fighting global warming and climate change, as mandated by the 17 Sustainable Development Goals that aim to end poverty, protect planet, and ensure prosperity to all. The summer course aims to equip learners with the knowledge and skills to identify and quantify greenhouse gases emission and plan action to reduce this emission. It is a big question whether global warming and climate change is evident or rumors. Climate change, an interesting term called dirty atmosphere, will bring more extreme wildfire danger and multi-year drought. Climate change and global warming is really now surrounding us. Based on NOEA satellite, mentioning that increasing land and ocean temperature has increased at average rate on 0.07 Celsius degree per decade since 1880. However, the average rate increasing since 1981 becomes 0.18, more than twice. And in this summer course, we will have an interestingly lively and fruitful discussion about several related topics, as the speaker in the program are uniquely placed to deliver the highlight of the key themes, trend, and current practices for the audience. As for today, we will also have Professor Dr. Arif Satria, Rector of IPB University, to deliver the opening speech. His ongoing support and dedication is very much appreciated by all, and without his constant and untiring effort, we would certainly not be able to achieve the excellent result we have. Thank you, Professor Arif Satria, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend this event. Also joining us is Professor Arthur Timol, the Rector Magnificus of Wageningen University, the Netherlands. Professor Arthur will deliver his speech, Making the World Sustainable, Combining Nature with Technology. And Professor Dr. Emil Salim, our respectful senior economist, will also deliver his valuable speech, The Feasibility of Low Carbon Economy in Indonesia. Thank you, Bapak, for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, all participants, I have a personally hope after the summer program, all of us become the agent for reducing global climate change, and we have to commit ourselves to participate and to taking place how we can work together, how we can synergy each other. And I also do really hope that Resource Economic and Environmental Department can initiate it after the summer program, still contact each other to bring the idea during the summer program, then be implemented in the reality daily activities. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all effort that starting from today, we commit to reduce carbon footprint in our daily life. Billahi taufik wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
This way, your job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the away. It's like you're always stuck in second gear, when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you. The rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. Still in bed at 10 and work again at 8. You burned your breakfast so far, things are going great.
Yes, that was the collaboration between our 17 speakers and the staff or ESL department and some students. So it's attractive music video to introduce the speakers, our 17 valuable and distinguished speakers. I hope you enjoy the music video. And I'm also happy to announce that Director Magnificus of Wageningen University and Research, Professor Arthur P. J. Mol, has joined us. Welcome, Professor Mol.
Good afternoon,
Yeah.
I think it's for you.
Yes, good afternoon. Yeah, thank you, Professor Mol. He should be attending the European Union Life Science Universities Conference today, but he's managed to escape a while to join us here. So lucky us, and thank you, Professor Mol. And the next program, we will listen to opening remarks by Professor Dr. Arif Satria, the Rector of IPB University. To Prof. Arif Satria, Pak Rektor, apa sudah datang?
Belum ada, Ibu Mei?
Belum ada ya, oke. Yeah, then. Okay, because while we wait for Pak Rektor, Professor Arif Satria, Director of IPB University, then we will just proceed to the first keynote speech from Professor Arthur Mol. Before we listen to Professor Arthur Mol keynote speech, let me share the short bio of Professor Mol. Mas Arif, can you please share screen? It's too small. Please make it bigger. All right. Professor Dr. Arthur P. J. Mol is the Rector Magnificus of Wageningen University and Research. Currently, he fulfills numerous national and international board positions at academic, research, and advisory institutions in the Netherlands and internationally. He has co-authored 24 books and 14 special issues of international scientific journals. He has also published 187 peer-reviewed articles and 90 scientific book chapters. Please correct me if I'm not wrong, Professor Mol. And Professor Mol, Arthur Mol is also the editor of journal Environmental Politics Journal and the book series New Horizons in Environmental Politics. And his main field of interest and publications are in environmental studies, globalization, social theory and the environment, informational governance, ecological modernization, China, sustainable food production and consumption, and urban environmental governance. And as already noted by Professor Iskandar, Wageningen ranks as the first #1 in the world in the field of agriculture and forestry, according to KS World University Rankings. Professor Mol, time and place are yours.
Thank you very much, Melanie. It's really great to be, so to say, back at IPB. We have a long-standing collaboration between IPB and our university, Wageningen University and Research. I visited IPB several times. Well, that is now not possible, but via this means we can still have interactions. Let me try to share my screen with you, because I would like to have a talk using some of the slides. Let me see if that works. Yes. Can you see the screen?
Yes, wonderful.
Okay, great. Then I'll start. What I would like to do today in half an hour is to talk with you a little bit on how we can make the world more sustainable, and especially looking a little bit more into the relation between nature and technology, because that's often seen as a tense relation. A lot of technology is disturbing nature, biodiversity, the environment, especially, of course, also we talk today on climate change. But I think that doesn't need to be, it doesn't have to be like that. And I want to explore a little bit different visions on that and a number of examples, and especially from our fields as Life Science University, both IPB and Wageningen University, will focus a little bit on that area. So basically what we see today, what we witness is a lot of global challenges. We all know them: climate change, which is very central in today's lectures and the series you are starting with today. But we have a lot of others. Overpopulation, especially in urban centers. I think we know them from all around the world. Malnutrition, both undernutrition as well as obesity, and overuse of natural resources, etc., etc. And if we want to address these main global challenges, which are so nicely put also in the Sustainable Development Goals, of course, we need a number of really major transitions to take place. And here I indicated some of the transitions. Of course, we can think of others, and that are not small changes, but really major changes in the way we produce and consume food, the way we eat proteins, both animal proteins, but also plant proteins increasingly, the way we organize our economy and move them away from fossil-based resources towards much more what we call a bio-based resources, etc., etc. And of course, we all know that, and all kinds of actors have roles to play, but of course, is what can we do? We as scientific institutions, how can we contribute to these major transitions which are so needed to address the global challenges? I think, of course, we play a major role in education, in research, but especially want to focus on innovation. So what kind of innovations can we help to move forward to address those challenges? It's really needed for us also, because what we face is that we see a growing population, and we need to feed that growing population with sustainable food, with healthy food, and with safe food. And we need to do that by using less of our planet. We cannot continue using so much of our planet in order to feed the world. So we have to reduce our reliance on natural resources. Thirdly, we also need to produce better food. Better food that is food which is more nutritious, which is also better use, which has better quality, and which is also more safe. And finally, we also need to derive that food more from local sources. The transportation of food all around the world is, of course, adding to climate change, and we want to reduce that. Now, there are a number of different visions around the world on how we can cope with that. And I just finished a book, which is also put here on the screen, by Charles Mann, which was called The Wizard and the Prophet. And that book is, I think, very illustrative of two major visions which we have in how we can address those global challenges. And Charles Mann called these two visions the wizard visions and the prophet vision. And he uses two remarkable men in the world to explain a little bit what these two visions are. So on the left-hand side, you see Norman Borlaug. And Norman Borlaug was the grandfather of the Green Revolution. He won the Nobel Prize in 1970. He's a US agronomist. He died, unfortunately, in 2009. But he really stands, his vision, his contribution to solving the main global challenges, he really stands for the wizard perspective. At the other side, at the right-hand side on your screen, we see William Vogt. William Vogt was a scientist, an ecologist, also from the US, a major nature conservationist, and he really stands for the idea and the perspective of the prophet. And if we look at it, what are then the key elements of those two visions? I try to put them here. So the wizard, Norman Borlaug's vision, is really the hard path towards solving the problems. while the vision of David William Vogt is really the soft part of solving the main global challenges. And here you see some of the elements where the two visions really conflict. So Norman Borlaug really looked at large-scale technological improvement without a lot of involvement of users, really looking at the supply side, so to say, of the problem, and not so much to the demand side. While William Vogt really looked at small-scale solutions and small-scale technologies. He really was focusing on the involvement of the users and the citizens. He also did not look at homogeneous development, really make developments and solutions context dependent. So for each different context, a different type of solutions. So these are two contrasting visions, you say. And what I would like to argue is that neither of the visions are extremely helpful in itself. But basically what we see and what we also should aspire for is to make combinations of these visions. And here I just portray a number of examples. Just to see how that works. So you can combine the two visions. You can sometimes use large-scale technology, but sometimes you need very small-scale technologies to solve problems. Sometimes you do need to involve the consumers or the citizens, and sometimes you need to go behind the back of them in order to solve a problem. So my idea is that you really should look for combinations. And I want to give you a number of examples in how you could combine these two perspectives in working towards a more sustainable planet. And especially focusing a little bit on all kinds of new technologies which are at the moment being developed based on scientific research at institutions as IPB and Wageningen University and Research. And you will see that some of these technologies are indeed large scale, but a lot of them are also small scale, but they are all very high advanced, and they all try to combine solving problems, but at the same time safeguarding our planet. So let's start first by looking at what kind of new technologies are now used for ecological research, for instance, for research which we as academic institutions do in order to understand better the biodiversity, the main problems of the planet. And here you see that in time, from 1970 up until today, we see that a lot of new, quite advanced modern technologies are being used to protect the planet and to understand biodiversity. They come from, in the 1970s, LiDAR systems, GPS tracking, thermal lens satellites, via, at the moment, all kind of Internet of Plants technologies. I'll come back to that a little bit later. And all kind of other means also, which are here put forward. So here you see that you can use modern technologies in the help of protecting the planet, and they do not necessarily need to destroy the planet, so to say. Just to give you one example from our own research, which we are at the moment conveying. This is one on what we call smart parks. And basically what we do is we do research in wildlife parks where animals are protected, especially in Africa, this example is. And of course, ivory is there one of the key valuable assets where poachers want to go for. And what we try to do is develop a system where we put all kinds of GPS tracking systems on deer, and we study the movement of deer, and especially the movement of deer when poachers or just human beings are entering the parks. And we put those movement of deer when they see or they witness these poachers in all kinds of algorithms, so mathematical formula, and use those formula also to know in advance whether human beings are approaching these parks, and of course also approaching especially rhinos or elephants which are living close to those deer. And we set up an internet-based systems where basically those deer with the GPS trackings are early warners for the guards in those parks to be aware that poachers are approaching. And that with a number of trials we did, it proved to be quite successful indeed to have an early warning system for poacher, and that we can intervene against those poachers. Another example, which is a little bit different, but also related to the environment, is that increasingly we manage to reduce the size of all kind of sensing platforms. So platforms where we have all kind of systems to monitor pollutants in the environment. And here you see what we did recently, where we made those kind of small chips 500 times smaller, using much less energy, and increasingly being able to monitor directly, so in live circumstances, all kind of systems and all kind of different chemicals. So we are already quite well able to monitor calcium and nitrates. We're moving towards phosphate and ammonia and heavy metals. And we can use those kind of systems in real life monitoring in the environment. So real life monitoring of air, water and soil quality, and know whether there's too much of certain kind of chemicals moving into the air, into surface waters or drinking waters, or into the soil. So we don't need to go to take a sample, go to the lab, analyze the sample, etc. It's a real-time monitoring, and it's directly connected to a computer system. So that gives us much better possibilities to know when certain pollutants move above a certain threshold level, and to take direct action for that. Another area where we use modern technology is what we call biomimicry. So where we look very carefully at nature, see how incredibly intelligent nature is organized and constructed, and use those kind of insights in building new kind of technologies. So here you see a well-known animal, a mosquito, of course, and we all know how swift a mosquito can be, how fast it can fly, how movable it is, making all kind of sudden movements. And we try to copy that into our first, so to say, alternative mosquito. And we increasingly try to reduce that. And these kind of small apparatuses can also fly like a mosquito. And we can think of all kind of possible applications for that. So one of them where we now are thinking is trying to make this kind of very small equipments to, for instance, fertilizing plants in crop fields, where we can be much more precise in fertilization. We can also use them in terms of fighting pests, small other animals, which are more destructive for all kind of crop and harvest systems. So also here what we try to do is combine nature with technologies and then look for solutions, which can sometimes be large scale, but sometimes be small scale. To move a little bit further into the area of arable farming is also look here how at the moment the most modern equipment look like to harvest. This is a view from at the bottom, a view from the inside of a tractor for harvesting maize here. And you see all kind of equipment being located inside such equipment, and all those screens are monitoring and using data which have been collected in the past, but also on a real-time basis, and feed that those data back into the tractor and to the farmer, give him all kind of information on how the harvest looked like. So where are plants which need more water? Where are plants which are not growing well because they lack certain kind of micronutrients? So we can be, with these kind of data, we can be much more precise in which plants need to be harvested now, which plants need more water, which plants need more calcium or other kind of nutrients, phosphates, nitrates, etc. Which plants are also seeing all kind of pests which are reducing. So where do we need to use pesticides? And by that we can be much more precise. And being much more precise means also that we use much more precise all kind of chemicals. And that means also that much less chemicals in the end up in the environment and destroy our natural resources, our soils, our groundwater, and in the end also our surface water. Let me skip that. And at the moment, we are experimenting with what we call the Internet of Plants. So this is very much an experimental technology still. So where we try to make sensors on plants, and here you see an example of a tomato and of a tree. So where on an individual plant, we try to sense what is happening there. So where in the former slides, we used all kind of general equipment to look at the whole field. Here we look really at the specific plants and try to sense how it's growing, what kind of nutrients are flowing in the tree. We are trying to get much more information what's happening within the tree, how are fluids moving up and downwards, how is it coping with stress, for instance, droughts or too heavy rain, etc. And we want to move with that kind of information and reducing, of course, the equipment very much towards what we call the Internet of Plants, where we use really these very micro chips, which we saw a few slides earlier, to try to get all that type of information on a plant level. And the more we know on really a plant level, the more we can be also precise on that plant level in terms of interventions for the farmer. And of course, that can increasingly increase also harvest. Of course, and here you see an example of how far we have moved already in the Netherlands with that. This is an example of tomatoes, where we try to use all these kind of modern technologies, so very small scale technologies on individual plants or on a group of plants, a small acre. And here you see what is the average yield per hectare of tomatoes around the world, and how far we have been in the Netherlands in increasing that yield. So that means that you need much less surface for getting the same amount of yield, the same amount of tomatoes from the fields. And that, of course, helps in reducing the amount of acres which are used by agriculture, and you can use then more acres, for instance, for nature conservation, for wildlife parks or other biodiversity conservation measures. You see here also from the same research how we are moving forward in reducing the water usage per tomato plant or per gallon or per pound of tomatoes. If you compare then the Netherlands in our experimental size, we use only 1.1 gallon per pound of tomatoes. And if you compare that, for instance, with the world average, there's almost a factor of 25 difference for that. And of course, using less water per pound of tomatoes, of course, reduces the natural resource use. And of course, we want to also move forward with that in terms of also fertilizers. So being much more precise with fertilizer use and reducing the amount of fertilizers per amount of tomatoes being grown. And lastly, from the agricultural side, what we try to do is also using modern technology is to build what we call digital twins. So basically what we try to do is build a digital example of a real life thing. So here it's a cow, but it can also be a microbe, it can be a complete farm or even a region, etc. So, and by building a digital twin of such a biological system or a social ecological system, sometimes we can do much more experiments on a digital matter of what certain kind of intervention means for that system. So we can see what would it mean if we would give, for instance, this digital cow more feed or a certain type of feed. What would it do in terms of milk production, for instance, or meat production, etc. So that means also that we need to be much less interventionist in the real world, and we can already experiment a lot in the digital world. And that is, of course, a good thing, because we can do much more experiments on a much more cheaper basis, which is much less costly also for the environment in that sense. We can also move a little bit towards in the value chain towards more the consumer side of food consumption, so to say. So all kind of new technologies enable us to build what we call smart fridges. So where the fridge is also with all kind of microelectronics, keeping track of what is in the fridge, and also what is the date that those products in the fridge end their safety dates. So here you see an example where indeed on your mobile phone you get all kind of information of the contents of your fridge, and also the date of experience of the food in the fridge. And that of course helps a lot in being aware of consumers what is still in the fridge. And even we can also combine those kind of digital system with supermarkets and ask supermarkets to deliver new products to our home when certain kind of products are finished in our fridge, which of course makes life much more easier for the consumer, but also makes it that much less product has to be thrown away because they have ended their date of safety consumption. We can also see that we are increasingly moving also the complete processing of food, which is now done very centrally. So in large farms at the first stand, but then also a lot of large food production companies, where, for instance, tomatoes are being processed and canned and then moved to the consumer, etc. What we are now experimenting with, and this is very experimental stage still, that we want to move that food processing stage to the household of the consumer, where indeed food processing is digitalized, and where we have a number of ingredients in our digital food processing equipment in-house on our sink, and put them together and then have a digital food processing machinery which produces food. So here you see an example of our experiments together with an applied research organization called TNO in the Netherlands, where we produce our food really in our home. And of course, that means that we can produce food when we want to consume it. So we don't buy food in large quantity and store them in the house and then use them one by one. No, we only start producing food when we want to use the food, based from all kind of resources which are in our house. And that of course means again that we have to throw away much less food. And if you see, for instance, the amount of waste we are producing from fruit and vegetables around the world, you see what we can gain here. So here is a graph on the amount of fruit and vegetables which are wasted around the world, and on average it's about 50% of all the food, fruits and vegetables which are produced in the end are not consumed. And in Europe it's very much at the consumption side, where we throw a lot of fruit and vegetables away, waste them. In your part of the world, it's much less related to distribution and sometimes also processing, which is not very efficient. So basically what we need to do is to reduce the amount of fruit and vegetables which are wasted. And these kind of technologies, both in the field, so at the production sites with farmers, etc., as well at the processing sites and distribution sites, as well as at the consumption sites in our house, all these technologies can help to reduce the waste, of course. And we know how much organic waste is related to climate change, for instance. Most of that waste is turning into either CO2 or much worse to methane, contributing a lot to climate change, of course. And finally, the last subject I want to address, and then I'll stop. I'll have my half an hour. Is of course that we increasingly also want to use all kind of new equipment to do something really at the far end of the consumption sites, where consumers increasingly want to have personalized advice on what they should consume in order to be healthy and to have the right nutrition. So increasingly we move from general advices to the wide public that you need to consume a certain amount of proteins, a certain amount of vitamins, etc., etc., to much more personalized advices for each individual. Of course, we know that each individual is different. And here you see different kind of equipment which give that on a daily basis advices to individual consumers. based on, for instance, the BMI, the body mass index, or based on other kind of characteristics, or also based on certain kind of preferences, for instance. And we even want to move further, because we know that the health of people is not only related to the lifestyle, but also very much to their intestinals, to their microbiome in their stomach, and even to their genes. So increasingly, we also want to move to, and this is also still very much experimental technology, move to very small technology where we build a chip in a certain kind of pill, if you want to say it like that, which you can digest. And that digestible chips can, of course, measure a lot of information from your intestines on all kind of variables. So on the functioning of the microbiome, how certain kind of diets are doing with you, if you have certain kind of diseases, etc. So basically what we see is we move from experiments where we use an organ on a chip. So we put a liver on a chip and then we measure all kinds of things. We move towards a chip in an organ, in a live organ, in a biological system, so to say. And that gives us a lot more information and feedback to how certain kind of ingredients, certain kind of foods are helping to become healthy, etc. Well, that's very far away, and we have to also look in how consumers really do want to use that kind of technology. But it's interesting to know that this is, of course, also very small-scale technology, very much related to individual users, and it's very different from the large-scale solutions which we used to work with. So to end with some conclusions, so basically what we see is some really major challenges ahead related to all kind of global challenges where we need new transitions, and transitions not on a small scale, but really on a large scale. And of course, climate change is one of the key ones, but also malnutrition around the world is related to that, and of course, the over-exploitation of natural resources. So, and we see that there are different ways to contribute to such transitions, and people have also different views, and we explore two different views, looking at Norman Borlaug with a wizard's perspective, and on the other hand, William Vogt had much more another perspective, a contradictory perspective. And those soft and hard pathways we should not use as the extremes. So we really need to combine those two and see in what kind of context and what type of problems we need, what type of combinations of hard and soft ways of transitions. And in all these pathways, we use technological innovations. And what we see is that those technological innovations used to stand very much against ecology, against biodiversity, against nature conservation. But increasingly, we see that we can use them in helping biodiversity protection, in helping nature conservation, and in helping to move towards these transitions towards a more sustainable planet. And of course, life science universities are the key sources of these innovations. So increasingly what you see is that life sciences universities become increasingly more important as universities compared to much more general universities to be able to contribute to these transitions. But of course, we cannot do it alone. And especially we as life science universities have to work with other disciplinary fields, especially with the engineering fields, if we look at all the examples I've been just talking about. So I hope that gives you a little bit an overview of where we stand at the moment in terms of nature versus or with technology, and how we can use that to contribute to a much more sustainable world. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Prof. Anton Mol, for very fruitful and interesting topic, keynote speech that delivered for all of us today. Professor Mol, among us already joined Professor Dr. Arif Satria, the Rector of IPB University. Prof. Arif Satria will deliver opening remark, the welcoming remark also. Please, Prof. Arif Satria, the time and place are yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen,
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
afternoon. Honorable Rector of Wageningen University of Research, the Netherlands, Professor Dr. Arthur Mol. Thank you for your talk. It's very, very inspiring for me in trying to develop the smart farming, smart agriculture in Indonesia. Honorable Senior Economist and former Indonesian Minister, Professor Dr. Emil Salim, Director of International Collaboration Office, Vice Rector for Collaboration, Dean of Faculty of Economics and Management, Head of Department of Economics and Resource Economics and Environment, Faculty of Economics and Management, IPB University, and all participants. It is my great honor and to greet all of you and to extend my warmest welcome, especially to distinguished invited keynote speakers and all participants in the opening session of summer course on reducing carbon footprints from individual to global actions, which is joint even with the IPB Talk on Complexity and Sustainability Science. The summer course is organized by Resource and Environmental Economics Department, Faculty of Economics and Management, IPB University. Congratulations to the head of department, Pak Ahyar Ismail, the Dean, Prof. Nunung Wiratono, and all of the steering and organizing committee. Ladies and gentlemen, this year IPB University proud presents 20 events of summer courses, which including offline and online courses throughout June until December 2020. Various faculties and departments are pleased to act as organizer of these events, whose focus emphasizing on option of scientific fields. One of them is this summer course, which will take place from today, November 20 until December 5th, 2020. During these 2 weeks, around 350 participants from 20 countries will learn about carbon footprint reduction related issues from international experts and professionals, which have a lot of experience on this topic. Ladies and gentlemen, the topic of this summer course is very, very timely, and I think it's very, very important and as well as urgent. As we know, the negative impact of greenhouse gas emissions from human activities are dramatically reshaping the environmental, political, and social landscape. Numerous research reports have linked these emissions to global warmings, pollution, violent weather patterns, and spatial extinction. To mitigate these negative impacts, governments around the world have passed legislation to measure and reduce carbon emissions. Many governmental, private, and non-profit organizations and individuals understand that climate change is one of the most pressing sustainability problems of our generation. They have been tracking their emissions and have begun taking steps toward adapting to a world that is marked with energy and climate crisis. These developments iterate the importance and need to properly measure and reduce energy and gas emission. Carbon footprint is no longer a new term to our society. Interest in quantifying and reducing the carbon footprint of products, process, organizations, and even individuals has been raised. And the topic of reducing our carbon footprint is becoming more familiar and popular. Recognizing the importance of working toward mitigating the impact of climate change, government, private sectors, researchers, students, and individuals should reduce the carbon footprint within the possible boundaries. Based on the planned activities, I'm sure that this summer course will provide not only academic improvement on the topic of reducing carbon footprint, but also team working and leadership skills, international friendship, and increase cultural awareness to all participants. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of IPB University, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all participants, distinguished speakers, and especially for the organizing committee who have been working hard, very, very hard to organize this event. I would like to end my opening remarks by saying, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, the summer course on reducing carbon footprints from individual and global action officially open. I hope this summer course will be a successful and enjoyable event. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Pak Rektor. Thank you, Prof. Arif Satria. Prof. Arthur Mol, we cannot thank you enough for your valuable contribution for this summer course. we want to express our gratitude, a tribute to Professor Arthur Moll, Never Enough. Mas Arif, please.
Whoa, very beautiful.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Professor Moll, yeah, to all participants and everybody, because Professor Moll were my thesis supervisor when I was doing master's
Excuse me, Bu
student.
Melanie, could you turn on your
Sorry, yeah.
camera?
Professor Moll was my thesis supervisor when I did my master degree in Wageningen University. So he is my source of inspiration till today. Thank you again, Professor Moll.
Thank you. I must say it's remarkable how what kind of capacities IPB has. Because I remember the last time I was at IPB, the rector gave an extremely nice musical performance, and now you can do all of that. It's remarkable. Congratulations with that. Good in
Thank
science
you.
and good in music.
Thank you. So okay, Professor Moll. So we after this we will have the second keynote speech which will be delivered by Professor Dr. Emil Salim, who is the legend in the environmental economics in Indonesia. If you still have time for a little bit while, so you are more welcome to still join us. But we are aware that you still have agenda to catch up, so you are also welcome to leave us. Thank you, Professor Moll.
Thank you.
Now we proceed to our second keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Emil Salim. Mas Arif, please. Can you make it bigger, Mas Arif? All right. Professor Dr. Emil Salim is one of Indonesian economics legend. After obtaining a PhD degree in economics from the University of California, Berkeley in 1964, he returned to Indonesia to teaching at Faculty of Economics, University in Indonesia. In 1977, he was appointed as Professor of Development Economics at the Faculty of Economics, University of Indonesia. He has held several important senior executive and cabinet positions. He served as former Indonesia State Minister for various posts during 1971 and 1993. And he became the first State Minister of Environment, Republic of Indonesia, 1983, served at 1983 to 1993. He maintains an active interest in sustainable development, the preservation of environment, and chairing the Foundation for Sustainable Development and the Kahati Foundation. He also co-chaired the United States Indonesia Society. To Professor Dr. Emil Salim, time and place are yours. Prof. Emil?
Yes. Thank you very much for the introduction. Allow me to express my appreciation for talking in this important initiative taken by the Department of Resource and Environmental Economics of IPB to arrange a summer course of 2020. And the topic of the summer course is concentrated on reducing carbon footprints through individual to global action. The world, and we, including Indonesia, is facing the problem of climate change. We are facing a huge problem, the danger of increased carbon footprints, which endanger our life. But surprisingly enough, today we are facing a very important phenomena that the carbon footprint by nature is being reduced, not so much by plant forces, by planning by the human beings, but by virtue of the attack of the pandemic coronavirus. Suddenly, the global economy, including the Indonesian national economy, is on a standstill. We are not moving. We are experiencing a recession in the last 2 quarters, as well as the world. So we face a situation where suddenly the world is saved by pollution, by carbon creation, by all these things, not so much because of the change in the way we as human beings are conducting the development, but by virtue of an attack by a virus, by corona, by virtue of the fact that the health is being endangered by the coronavirus. Because of coronavirus, because of this pandemic, the way we behave in the world, in life, in society, in work, in living, has to be changed. We must take distance. We may not be close to each other. We must work from home. We must learn from home. We have to follow a different pattern of life. And life in which the contact between human beings are being restricted because of the fear of the virus, coronavirus. And so suddenly, the society is changing. The society is forced to be from a society which in the Indonesian sentence is called the kita society. you and me, you are included in me, the kita society, the we society, into a kami society, and we society in which you are not included. So we are separated, you and I are separated because of the danger of virus, impact of the virus on us. So suddenly the economy is being divided into not into a mass, but divided in individual, separated from each other, working from home, learning from home, taking distance, not crowded. Factories are being closed, transportation is being managed, and so on and so forth. And because of the changing way we conduct our work and life, suddenly the pollution is being reduced. Suddenly the skies are blue again. Suddenly the rivers are clean again. Suddenly the world is being back normal, too close to normal from the point of view of environment. It is the ideal world, the blue sky and so on. But the cause of this blue sky is not because of the human efforts. It is because of the coronavirus. And so, dear friend, when we are thinking about a world without pollution, about a world without footprints, without this endangered footprints, we have then to study what is possible to learn from the current situation in which the sky are blue, the environment are being helped, assisted by the virus. How can we learn from this in order that we combat the virus and yet maintain the environment which is clean from pollution? So lesson number one is that the economy must be an economy not be closely related with zoonosis. The reason why we have this coronavirus is because the virus in the bats in the wet market in Wuhan, China, is being disturbed, and the bats attack the human being, transplant the virus, and the virus becomes an vehicle, becomes a means in which the coronavirus spread all over the world. It is a response of the bats because the human beings are too much disturbing the ecosystem of the bats, of the birds, of the flies, whatever. And because of that, zoonosis are the cause of this disease that it suffers now, and the zoonosis is caused by the human being that is destroying the ecosystem of the wildlife. So, lesson number one, the reason why we have the coronavirus is because of zoonosis, because of the change of the ecosystem of the bats, of the birds, of the one, which then react, attacking the human beings. The lesson is, how can we conduct our life in which we can coexist without destroying the ecosystem of our bats' life and the wild animals? Lesson number one. Lesson number two, how can we have an economic type of activity, an economic type of development that needs cooperation between human beings and yet keep the distance between human beings? Of course, the most ideal is that we have vaccines that can prevent the virus of attacking the human beings, a vaccine that makes us immune to this disease. But regardless of that fact, the lesson now is that we must find way and means of cooperation, of development, in which the distance becomes so important that a possibility of having a movement of the virus between human beings are being closed. So an economy which is based on working with distance. But who closed this distance between human beings? Technology. And that means that suddenly we see the importance of technology in working from home, importance of the information technology in working, studying from home, learning with distance, and so on. So the world of the future is the world of an enriched, changing technology that changed the way we conduct our current life, our current way of doing things, and current way of development. Technology becomes a main key. Professor Arthur Holland has explained to you what is being now, what is open, what are the opportunities of the involvement and of the role of technology in improvement of the way of life. That is the future that we have to follow. And what does it mean? That suddenly, in the way of development, it is not so much material development that becomes important. No, it's not so much capital, physical capital that is so important. Investment in capital, physical capital is important. What emerged now is that the human factor, that the brain of the human mind, the ability of our intellectual capability to develop a technology to cope with the virus, to develop a technology that can bridge the gap of distance that is needed because of this virus. But through technology, we can close this gap. So there is a new world, a new economy is arising, an economy in which then the distance, working with distance, and yet closely together through technology. And that means, dear friends, that facing the future to come, we have to raise our intellectual capability, our capacity of human resource, our way of looking to development away from resource exploitation to resource enrichment. How can we not destroy the resource, not destroy ecosystem of wildlife, not destroy the forest as such? How can we develop all this natural resource by raising this value added? And how can we be able to raise the value added? By having science, technology that improve, that produce, that create the value added. How can we have from a flower, from the bees, from the insect, create the possibility of a kapompong that is able to provide input for technology that is beautiful through the mind, through the technology in our mind? How can we use the honey produced by the bees? How can we produce all this squalene, which are in the insect, which are in the worms of our soil? The squalene is a medicine against stroke. How can we use science and technology to make our natural resource useful, meaningful for development by through using our technology? Professor Arthur mentioned about the trend in food, the trend in waste management, and so on. We need the way of technology in which we raise the value added of our tropical natural resource. We have a rich in the Khatulistiwa, in the Equator. We have a rich sea resource, a combination of the Pacific and the Indian Ocean, a combination of which provides us with a rich sea resource. Question, why are our nelayan, our fishermen, poor? We have rich natural resources in the equator. The biodiversity is so rich, we can get everything from our soil. Question is, why are our farmers so poor? The key question is that our resource is rich, but the human being, the Indonesian, that meets the challenge to exploit, to use the natural resource, have no ability to develop it skillfully. We don't control the science and technology. Our ability, our intellectual ability is very low. If in the PISA, in the conduct of the quality of education by OECD, it is mentioned that out of 70 countries in reading, in writing, and mathematics, and in science, in these science, mathematics, reading, and writing, out of the 70 countries, 70 countries, China is number 1, Singapore is number 2, and Indonesia is number 64. What does it mean? Yes, Indonesia have rich natural tropical resource, but the human resource are poor. And that's why we are facing the future development, in which the development requires the dependency on science and technology to prevent the virus of corona, using technology, using telecommunication, using advanced technology in communication. We need brain power development. We need knowledge development. We need science development. And that's why, dear friend, is it possible that from now on, all of us at the university, at the elementary school, at whatever, that this nation, Indonesia, puts its top priority to development of the human resource. We are enjoying now in Indonesia and bonus demography. The 15 years and up are booming, are increasing in number, the 50 years to 50 years. The number increases. They need to increase the skill, the knowledge, the know-how, the science, the technology. That must be the key, the priority of our development. Without improve of human resource, we cannot add value to our natural resource. We cannot meet the challenge that Professor Arthur mentioned in this paper today. So when we are now meeting together in a summer course, discussing reducing carbon footprint from individual to global action, our experiences, the carbon footprint is now reducing, not by virtue of human beings' effort, but virtue of the virus. It means now that we have to cope with the future to improve our ability to conquer the virus, which is through science and technology, but also to conquer the way of future development, which is now more and more dependent on science and technology. The reducing carbon footprint has been done, has been demonstrated today, but it is because of a virus, not because of the human mind. Our task now is to develop that capacity of human mind, to raise the human resource development in order to conduct the way of resource enrichment strategy development along the way of sustainable development through science and technology development, improvement our human Indonesia human resource, our bonus demography must increase, that by 2045, Indonesia will be out of the middle income trap, out of the poverty, and up to a level of prosperity due to increase of our human capacity through science and technology, by learning, by development, by human resource development. This is the lesson learned from our experience today due to the coronavirus, in which the footprint of the carbon reduced, but also at the expense of our economic crisis. Now we have to change the footprint of carbon, yes, must be reduced through resource enrichment, not exploitation, through the use of the human resource with technology and science to meet a better Indonesia, a better future, and cleaner Indonesia, and a prosperous Indonesia. This is the challenge that I meet. All the participants of the summer course are willing to meet. And I hope with your assistance, we will meet a prosperous and a clean Indonesia in the future. Thank you.
That was an awesome speech to me. Thank you, Prof. Emil, for a really, really insightful speech. Prof. Emil, do you mind if we take 1 to 2 questions?
Yeah, okay.
All right. Okay, one question from Sri Lestari. Our
Yeah.
natural resources are getting degraded due to over exploitation because we would like to improve our economy. What do you think about this condition, ecology versus economy?
What concrete actions are needed to be taken in order to overcome the economic crisis nowadays, particularly the agricultural sector? I notice, yeah, that the IPB has a lot of innovations. For instance, fish detector to detect where the nelayan, our nelayan can fish. Question: why are these results of the research by IPB not being known by the nelayan in the field? Why is it not known by the province government so that it is not adopted? I noticed the IPB have a lot of knowledge tools that can improve the development, that can solve the problem. How can we raise the production, not necessarily of rice, but of food? How can we prevent the misuse of the soil, the wet soil in Kalimantan? We have experts in the IPB who knows that wetland is not suitable for rice production. Why can we not use that knowledge to prevent mistake in creating rice production in wetland? How can we better manage our forests, that it not be transformed into a plantation only for a plantation, but making use of the natural resource, of the values, of the biological resource, of the rich resource in the soil, in the trees, in the one. It's so rich biological resource. We are not using it. We cannot use it because of lack of knowledge. How can IPB develop this knowledge that raise the value added of our rich biological resource without destroying our natural resource? Another type of development, a different type of development, not the GDP type, not of income, money, income increase type of development, but a sustainable type of development, making use of enrichment of our natural resource, value added through science and technology by the brains of IPB.
Yeah, thank you. That was really beautiful input for IPB, Prof. Emil Salim. Maybe one more question, and that's it, participants. One question from Pak Hari Priyadi, Prof. Emil. How do you see the omnibus law for the environmental issues in Indonesia?
The omnibus law stress on the need for employment. Employment is employing human beings. And the key of the human being is to have mind capacity. If the human capacity of the Indonesian is number 64 of 70 countries in terms of reading, mathematics, and science, that number 64 is difficult to compete with number 1, China, number 2, Singapore, number X, Thailand, and so on and so forth. So the omnibus law create employment, yes, but in a competitive world. And in a competitive world, when we are number 64, it is difficult to win, to compete with those who are above you. So what is the key? Human resource development, increase education, raise the capacity of mathematics, science, technology, use the skills of the universities who have the skill into the development strategy. Ask the advice of IPB how to make use of that land. Ask advice of IPB experts how can we save the tropical forests of Papua. Does it need to be transformed into nation, or can we use the existing wealth of the Papua tropical forest being a rich in biological resource? How can IPB experts help the government in using the natural resource sustainably? So the omnibus law, I don't see a way of saving our natural resource unless the IPB type of expertise is being engaged in the process of development. Therefore, please, those who make use of omnibus law, make use of the expertise of our experts, agricultural experts, industrial experts who know the ecosystem of Indonesia, which is unique, number 1 in the world in the tropical climate. That should be understood by our friends who are in the field or in the government of development.
Thank you, Prof. Emil. That was a great critique for the government about omnibus law. And the key is human resource development, because without this we can't really compete at this stage, the 64th rank. Very interesting point, Prof. Emil. Okay, it's already 7 minutes past 5. I think this is we already close to the end of the event. But Prof. Emil, 347 participants has collaborated to create a tribute for you through a music video. The song is about the power of youth, the feeling that what they want to change the world, and that nothing can stop us. And we literally want it. After listening to Prof. Emil's speech, which is, I can't believe that Prof. Emil this year is 90 years old. It's really full of spirit, full of inspiration, and we are now in spirit to become the agent of change who wants to change the world to become a better place. A tribute to Professor Emil Salim from all the participants. I want it all.
Ada persembahan untuk ini.
I want it all. Hey!
Congratulations, all participants. What a great performance and a nice tribute to Professor Emil. We hope that Professor Emil likes the performance from the participants. Once again, thank you, Prof. Emil, for your very, very significant contribution for this summer course. Thank you. Okay, so now we are close to the end of this event. Yeah, finally we got the last session in this event, that is closing. But please, summer core participants, again, please stay still, because after closing of the ceremony, we will have briefing program for participants. And before we say sayonara, let's take picture together. Mas Arif, let's take picture. Sudah?
Satu, siap ya. Kamera on semua ya.
Everybody smile.
1, 2, 3. Oke, siap. Next, slide 1, slide 2. Next. 1, 2, 3. Next. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next. 1, 2, 3. Next. 1, 2, 3. Next. 1, 2, 3. Next. Next. Next.
How many pages?
Next. 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 Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody, thank you. Okay, so yeah, ladies and gentlemen, may what we had today will be useful for all of us. As the coordinator of ESL summer course and representing the Department of Environmental and Resource Economics and also IPB University, I would like to say thank you very much for your kind attention. And from the deepest of my heart, I do apologize for my mistakes in presenting this event. Let's close this event by saying your own prayer, and for Muslim friends, let's say Hamdallah, Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Once again, thank you. See you again. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All right. How about the certificate, e-certificate? It's already closed, yeah? Ibu Pini?
Yes, it's already closed.
All right, okay. So all guests, non-participants, you are free to leave this Zoom now, because now is the session, special session only for the participant of the summer course. I want to remind you, did you all fill in the attendance form that we already sent you through email? All right, great. So again and again, I want to, Prof. Dodi, are you still here? How are you, Prof. Dodi? Okay. Okay. Let me back to the about the mode of information that we give to you as the organizer of this summer course. So it's only through one way, through this email. So we don't have a WhatsApp group or whatever. So please check your email regularly, at least 3 times a day. Okay, so because we just send all the information about this summer course through your email. Okay, so please regularly check your email. Okay, so if you already fill in the attendance form twice, okay, twice, because we already have 2 keynote. So today you have attend 3 sessions, okay, 3 sessions. The speaker sessions, two speaker session, and now you are attending the briefing session. Okay, the briefing session. Now I give you the opportunity to fill in the attendance form for the 3rd session.
Yes,
So
I just
already
published the link. I just published the link. Let's check.
And the link published in the Zoom group chat. Okay. Okay. Well, while I'm waiting for you guys to fill in the attendance form, let me share screen. Bu Pini udah kelihatan belum? My PPT?
Yes, wonderful. Yes, wonderful.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is a briefing for all of you, for the participants to get to know the ESL Summer Course 2020. But first, let me introduce the organizer of this summer course. We have Ibu Dr. Pini Wijayanti. Bu Pini.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, Bu Pini is the co-coordinator for this summer course. And who are also join this briefing, Bu Pini? I can't really see. Is there any other organizer? Ibu Dina?
Let me check. Maybe you can just call them one by one.
Yeah, Ibu Dina Lianita Sari.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you all.
Yeah, Ibu Dina is also our organizer. And Pak Ahyar and Bu Meti maybe already left this Zoom meeting, I guess. Okay. How about Ibu Putri? Ibu Putri, Naraini Putri, also the organizer, and Ibu Nufa, Dr. Nufa. Dr. Nufa, are you here? Dr. Nufa is also part of this organizing committee. And Ibu Nia Kurniawati, Dr. Nia Kurniawati. Dr. Nia, are you here? And we also have Mr. Danang Pramudita, MSc. Pak Danang, are you here? And also we have Pak Bahroin Tampu Bolon. Pak Bahroin.
Hello, nice to meet you all.
Yeah, Pak Bahroin. Okay, and we also have Pak Arif. Mas Arif, you can call him Mas Arif. Thank you, Mas Arif. Thank you, Mas Beb. Thank you, Mbak Dina and Ibu Pini. Okay, let us now start this briefing briefly. Yeah. Okay, so the timing, you know, the timing is from 20th of November, which is today, till 5th of December 2020. And you know that today was the opening, and then we already passed the opening. And from 21st to 13th of November, we will have lectures and hands-on practices. And from the 1st to 4th of December, you will have group work. Yes, I already sent to you the rundown of this summer course. And if you see the group work period from the 1st to 4th December, the schedule is 8 to 16, but it is, you know, this group work we give to you because this is group work, so you can set with your peer group the time for you guys to work on your assignment, on the group assignment. Yes, so it is not 8 to 16 so 8 hours working, but you guys have to set up the timing for you guys to work together on your assignments, on your group assignments. Okay. And the last day of the summer course program is 5th of December. And what will happen in the 5th of December, we will have competition. So your group assignment will be competed. So you will compete with the participants of the summer course. Yes, competition between groups. And then we will have awarding. So the winner of the competition will have some prize. Okay, from Pak Bahroin ya, Pak Bahroin, udah siap ya? Are you ready with the presents, with the prize for
Of course.
the competition winner? All right,
Yeah.
great.
Of course, Bu May.
Okay, and the 5th of December, still we will have the closing ceremony. Yeah, but still a long way to go. We just in the first day today. And this is the course load and attendance. So you have about 16 days. Yeah, 16 days from today to December 5th of December. See here at the column lecture and practice. Yeah, I will resend you the rundown, the daily rundown of this summer course program with the remarks, which one of the session is lecture and which one is the practice. Okay, so you have in total 28 sessions to attend. Okay, but see, only today you already have 3. Okay, you already have 2 lectures and 1 practice. So the keynote speaker, you have 2 lectures, and this session, the briefing session, is a practice session. So you have 3 today, and tomorrow Saturday you will have 2 lectures, and then Sunday you will have 2 lectures, and so on and so on. And see at the working group working period from December 1st of December to the 4th of December, your group working is the valued to 1 practice every day. Okay, so you will have 4 practice session from the 1st of December to 1st of December to 4th of December. Independent working. Okay, it will be valued 1 for each day. Yeah, and in Saturday you will have 5 points. You have 5 points of attendance. So yeah, please see the rundown that I will send to you after this. Yeah, after this briefing, we will send it to you through your email. Okay, so please check regularly your email. And so we will have two schemes for this summer course program. First is the non-certificate scheme, and then the second is a certificate scheme. The non-certificate scheme will give you access to any lecture sessions, lecture and practice sessions throughout the summer course. Yeah, you will have access. We will give you access to this the lecture, any lecture and any hands-on practice session. But for non-certificate scheme, you don't have the minimum rate of attendance, and you don't have to do individual tasks. You don't have to do group tasks. So you are not asked to do this filling the attendance form, and you don't have to do this individual task and group tasks, but you still have access to the lecture and practice sessions. But this is non-certificate scheme. Okay, to get the certificate, you are obliged to some stuff. Okay, the certificate scheme, yeah, of course it also gives you access to any lecture sessions, any practice sessions, but it required minimum synchronous attendance. So you have to attend the lecture and the hands-on practice synchronously. Yeah, synchronously, but not 100%, of course. We require a minimum. I will talk about this later. And you also required to do group tasks and individual tasks. Okay. So what is the rule of minimum attendance? We are aware that the students, participants from out of Southeast Asia have quite significant different time zone. So that's why we give you this flexibility for Southeast Asia based student for you that based or located or stay in Southeast Asia. You are required to a minimum lectures attendance 11 sessions and minimum hands-on practical attendance 11 sessions also. And for other participants, non-Southeast Asia based participants, your minimum lectures attendance is 8 sessions and minimum hands-on practical attendance is also 8 sessions. But you will have different requirement for individual tasks. Okay, your individual task is writing learning journals, minimum 100 words per entry. What is the entry for learning journal? The entry for learning journal is lectures 1 to lecture 13. This is also you can see from the rundown of the daily program. The newest, the final rundown that I will send it to you. You can see which one is lecture 1, which one is lecture 5, blah, 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 okay? So the learning journal entries is lectures 1 to 13, and then the practice 2, P2, P4, P5 to P6, okay? What is learning journal? Learning journal is your reflection on each lecture or practice topic. Okay, your reflection. Yeah, and this is the difference. If we already see the attendance requirement, it's different. The Southeast Asia-based students are required to attend more sessions, yeah, than the other participants. But to make it balanced, then the student of East Asia-based students, a student of Southeast Asia, you have to do just minimum 13 entries of learning journal. But other participants is all, yeah, 100%, 17 entries you have to do learning journal. You know, learning journal, here you are only required 100 words per entry. Okay, 100 words is about 5 to 6 to 7 sentences. Yeah, it's short, it's nothing. Okay, so my suggestion is you do this learning journal every day. Don't wait until the deadline for you to submit the learning journal. Okay, do it every day. Do it after the session. Do it after you're contemplating, after you listen to the session. Okay, because learning journal is the process of learning. We want to see your learning process, not your outcome of learning, but the process itself. Okay, and all the learning journal sessions will be recorded and shared via Google Drive. So for you who cannot attend the session, lecture, or hands-on practice session synchronously, you can catch up through through recorded lectures and hands-on practice that we will share via Google Drive. Okay. Okay. Is there any question about this individual task? The learning journal itself, we will give you insight about the learning journal itself tomorrow. Yeah, we will have special session about learning journal, and that will be our first lecture after this opening session. Yeah, so tomorrow, Saturday, your first lecture session is about learning journals. So it's very important. You need to attend. But for you guys who can't attend the learning journal session tomorrow because of a different zone time, I have message from Maisa. Maisa, are you here? Maisa from she's from Brazil, but now she is study in Freiburg University in Germany. Maisa, are you here? Yeah, for you guys who can't attend that because of very significant time zone difference. For example, for Maisa, the 10:45 11 at 11 a.m. in Jakarta time means about 5, yeah, about 5 a.m. in Germany. So it's too early. Yeah, it's too early in Germany, in Europe, in general. So you can for Maisa and other friends, other participants who is not possible to join the learning journal session tomorrow, you can catch up via our recorded session, and we will share all session via Google Drive, and we will share the link with you. All right, and yeah, link to attendance form per session also will be given at the day of the session through Zoom chat room. Okay, so you can only fill in the attendance form if you join the Zoom for each session. Okay, because the attendance form we will only distribute it, we will only share it to you through the Zoom chat room in every session. Okay, and then now, okay, about individual tasks, do you have any question? Okay, no. Okay, now group tasks. Okay, so you have individual tasks and you already also have group tasks. Okay, so you will have a group of 15 participants. So one group will be consist of 15 participants, and this group will be arranged by the organizer. Okay, so we will arrange the group for you. Okay, and then this group will be announced by Sunday 22nd of November. So the day after tomorrow, we will announce the group. Yeah, the group of 15 participants. So the task for each group is you have 3 tasks. One is a meaningful photo related to carbon reduction. And then the second task is a vlog, a video blog related to carbon reduction. And then the third task is an essay about carbon reduction. Yeah, so, and the format of this essay is just like the article in mainstream media. Okay, yeah, the format is like something that if you want to publish an essay to mainstream media, so yeah, the format is just like that. Yeah. And but more about this, we will talk more about this on Thursday, 26th of November 2020. Okay. Yeah, the structure of or what you are expected to blah blah blah, we will talk about this, the group task, on Thursday. Okay. Okay, and the credit earnings. This program is equal to 3 SKS, yeah, 3 SKS, 3 system credit semester in Indonesian curriculum system, which is equals to 86 learning hours. Yeah, it's equal to 86 learning hours. And then the certificate will be signed by the Dean of Faculty of Economics and Management, IPB University. Okay, and at the back of the certificate, we will write down all the program that we provided in this summer course. So if you want to arrange the credit earning in your home-based university, this can be the base for you, yeah, to arrange the credit earnings in your home-based university. Okay. And then the task deadline for learning journal is Tuesday, 1st of December. Yeah, so Tuesday, 1st of December, you have to submit the learning journal. Okay, it's already said to you how many entries of learning journal, how many topics that you have to write down learning journals. Yeah. Tuesday, 1st of December. Yeah, and again, don't wait till Tuesday of the 1st of December to write the learning journal, because it will be quite a lot. Yeah, but if you do it every day, then it's just nothing, just 5, 6 or 7 sentences. Okay. And how about the group task deadline? It will be announced on Thursday, 26th of November again. Yeah. Okay. And the re-registration, Ibu Pini, Ibu Dina, maybe please write down the link to the re-registration. So we are aware after listen to this briefing, maybe some of you change your mind. Maybe you think that this is too heavy, too hard, or whatever. Yeah. So we ask you who still wants to join the certificate scheme, which required you to do the attendance, do the individual tasks, do the group tasks. Yeah. If you still want to join the certificate scheme, you need to do the re-registration. In this re-registration, you don't have to upload any document. Okay, you just need to put your name and country and email. That's it. Okay, you don't have to upload anything. So yeah, you just have to you need to re-registration. If you don't do re-registration, then we will assume that you join the summer course through non-certificate scheme. So you will not be able to get the certificate, but you still be given the access to the program, summer course program. Okay, again, please, for you who wants to still continue to certificate scheme, you need to do re-registration. Ibu Pini, the link, can you write down the link at the Zoom chat room?
Provided. It's already there.
Okay.
It's already there.
It will be, yeah, if you want to do it now, that's great. And the deadline for the re-registration is tonight, yeah, before midnight Jakarta time. Okay. Yeah,
Ibu
please
Melanie,
do it. Yes, yes, Bu Pini.
Excuse me, could you answer this question?
Okay.
Okay, there is a question of learning also can be claimed for graduate students of IPB University.
Sorry, I can't catch you. Can you please
Okay.
a bit slower, darling?
Okay. Is the credit earning also can be claimed for graduate students of IPB University?
Yes, it depends on your study program policy. Okay, your prodi, the kebijakan dari prodi masing-masing. But what I can share you is this. Okay, let me escape this. I can share you the guidance from the International Collaboration Office. There is a letter about this. Okay, I stop share this first, and then I want to share this. Where is it? Oh, okay. Wait, I have to close. Where is it? Oh, I can't find it. Where is it? I already prepared that. Okay, it says that, sorry. Okay. It says that, okay, this is in Indonesia, okay, in Indonesian language ya. Sertifikat summer course dapat digunakan oleh mahasiswa untuk mengajukan klaim memasukkan kreditnya ke dalam transkrip nilai di masing-masing perguruan ya.
Could you share screen, please?
Ya, nggak bisa nih, Mbak Pini, nggak tahu kenapa nih.
Okay.
Ya, memasukkan kredit
Maybe you
ke
can send
dalam
it to me and then I can.
Okay, I will send it to you. Wait, to your WhatsApp ya. Where is my WhatsApp here? Okay, wait. Sorry, it's a bit. Oh my God, it doesn't open. Okay, maybe here. Through
it's okay.
my
Maybe we
phone.
can distribute later on. It's okay.
No, but this is important. Bu Pini, sebentar. Angga tadi mana ya?
So while waiting, thank